Welcome to Meaningful Mornings. This morning we completed day 5 of the highest vocation. I was feeling very moved this morning for so many reasons. One, how much seekers have grown just in 5 days. Two, that there's college students that are practicing. In college, they're engaged in contemplation. 3 is Zoom. If there were no Zoom, how would we all commune? And so I was sharing with all of the seekers, to begin contemplation, one has to appreciate what they have. Really, that's not the case just for contemplation. That's for all. Being able to wash dishes, being able to drive, being able to breathe. This morning, we celebrate our final week of courses. Tomorrow's our final Ramayana class, after that Bhagavata and so on. We celebrate, these are the final 3 weeks of this semester of Meaningful Mornings. On Saturday, June 3rd, you're on your own. And we also celebrate today, tomorrow, we've now been together for 140 weeks. Tomorrow is day 980. Appreciate what you have. Chapter 13, the first train of thought is verses 1 through 6. In this, Prince Arjuna asks some specific questions. Shri Krishna gives some general answers. The next train of thought is in verses 7 to 11. These verses are about purification. Purification, in a general sense or a general term, is preparation. In an objective science, you have to prepare. People have to prepare through their step 1 exams to become a physician. What is the term when it comes to self-development? It is purification. If you find that you're deficient in any of the 20 values that Sri Krishna shared, practice satsanga, seva, sadhana. This is the only way. In verses 12 through 16, what we're in right now, there's a new train of thought. It is no longer about purification. It's about being purified. The preparation is complete. Now you are ready for the process. These verses are about contemplation and offering you some more ways to orient yourself to these verses. When one is purified, that's equivalent to being divinized. When you reflect on your trust triangle, the word I'm using, divinity, what does it all look like? It means you're purified then. And this gets expressed as seva. Amani, imagine, is just the lower part of this diamond. Satsanga, seva, sadhana. But to become a vajra, you go to the top, which is seva again. The lower seva, you become happy. The higher seva, you help others become happy. Another way to orient ourselves to being purified is oneness. The more pure you are, the less distant you feel from yourself, from others. Think of this practically. Oneness is synonymous with virtuousness. Where you feel a oneness, you are more loving, you are more patient. The more distant you feel annoyed and angry and so on. One more orientation. I've been using words like divinized, oneness, infinity. The word Sri Krishna uses is Brahma. The nature of infinity of Brahma is existence, awareness, joy. Do you feel existence? You do. You may not be grateful for it, but you do. You can't not feel existence. The same with awareness. Do you feel awareness? You do. You may not be grateful for it. And the same goes with joy. I was sharing in our Sadhana Panchaka course, we are exploring 40 reflective practices. They're not just practices like asana or pranayama. They're reflective practices because it affects us more. And I was sharing with them, when you go to sleep, you don't act, yet you are happy. And that's proof that your actions cannot create happiness. So you do feel joy, but you probably are taking this for granted. That's why I've been sharing in these verses 12 through 16, that these verses are about awareness. Sri Krishna described the knower of the field as awareness. I've used words like infinity, but I'm finally using a word. That word is I. These chapters are about asi, or being. I am what is described in these verses. In the 16th verse, I had begun with the first line, avibhaktam, vibhaktam. Awareness, infinity, I, is undivided, yet appears to be divided. Appears. A wave appears to be divided, yet a wave is water. For us, try to be less opinionated. I know it's hard for you. But it's such a strong expression of being an individual, commenting on everything. This bed's like this food's like this person's like this. The second line, Bhuta Bhartra, awareness, infinity, I, is the provider for all beings. Tat Neyam, you should know this, as well as Grasishnu is the eater, and Pravishnu is the generator of all beings. Okay, that's the translation. I will put this into a framework for you. One of your rams, as we take a month off of meaningful mornings, is to count how many frameworks you now have access to. And these are not random frameworks. This is all from our maps. Ishvara, or God, has 5 functions. In Sanskrit first, they are Srishti, Sthiti, Samhara, Nigraha, Anugraha. If you meet someone who's doing these 5 things, they are God. Now in English, I'll define all of these. Srishti, the one who is the creator. Sthiti, the one who is the controller. Samhara, the one who is the consumer. Shri Krishna stated that in this verse. Continuing, Nigraha means the corrector. We interpret this as punisher. God doesn't punish, God corrects. Anugraha means conserver. The one who graces us, guides us, is conserving us. Shri Krishna is sharing all beings are created, are controlled, are consumed by that same awareness infinity, I. The same. What's outside of you is outside of me. What's inside of you is inside of me. There's only oneness. This continues in the next verse, a very beautiful verse, 17. Jyotisham api tad jyotihi tamasaf paramuchyate jnanam jneyam jnanagamyam hridi sarvasya vishtitam hridi sarvasya vishtitam hridi sarvasya vishtitam. Joy. Jyotisham, of all lights, Tat, awareness, infinity, I, Jyotihi, is the light. Tamasaha, darkness, paramuchyate, this light is known to be beyond darkness. That is the translation, sharing more. The light in your home, the light in the sun, these lights, they shine. The light in your home has a function for you. The light in the sun has a function for you. The light that Shri Krishna is referring to, the light, does not shine. It is just light. And I know you're reflecting on this, but I'll help you. When you understand the light to shine, that implies that there's two entities. The light and what it's shining upon. But Shri Krishna is taking us beyond that. There's only light. There's nothing to shine upon. Really, the sun is not shining on you. The sun doesn't know you. The sun's nature is light, period. And this light illumines, if I'm bringing it down a perspective, illumines not just presence, but absence also. Awareness, infinity, I, makes me feel what I feel in the waking state. I can see a chair, I can see the clouds, but even when I'm asleep and there's nothingness, I still know that nothingness. With the physical light, if there's light, it can't illuminate darkness, correct? They're mutually exclusive. But with this inner light, it can even illuminate, shine upon darkness. I can tell by your faces. We have to go back to verses 7 to 11 for purification. More preparation is needed for these verses. But you're being exposed to it. That's enough. To know that there's more than just physical light. Jnanam. That means knowledge. Jneyam, that which is to be known. And jnanagamyam, where one will go or what one will feel with this jnana. All of this is the same. Three terms are used, but the definition of all of them is awareness. Jnana means knowledge. How do you know anything? Because of awareness. The Upanishad teaches that. Satyam Jnanam Anandam. The Neyam, that which is to be known, Shri Krishna has already shared. You have to know the knower of the field. The lower knower of the field, ego. The higher knower of the field, awareness. And Jnana Gamyam, where do you think you're going to go when you know these verses of Bhagavad Gita? You're going to ride on a SpaceX rocket and go to Mars. You won't make it. You will be with yourself. You will have changed your I from individuality to infinity. Hridi sarvasya vishtitam. And where? We're always thinking about spatial orientation. Where is this awareness standing, residing in every being's heart? You are awareness. Tattvamasi. Not Shwetaketu, but Vinita and Mayur and Swarupa. Final reflection. In Sanatana Dharma, an imperative critical discipline is swadhyaya. Practice is to know you. Practice is to find what's in your heart. If you don't engage in reading, writing, and reflecting, you will never feel that you are awareness. Yesterday, when I was putting Vyasa to bed, I always remind him to engage in japa with the mala and mantra that Puja Guruji had given him. And when he had completed this, he asked me, he said, "Does Guruji have powers?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "What is one of those powers?" And I said, "He can read your mind." He said, "Even if he can't see me?" I said, "Yes, he's thinking about you and he can read your mind." Vivek is not exaggerating. For one who knows themselves fully, what's in your heart is in my heart. What's in my heart is in your heart. If I know me, then I know you. That's the higher seva. Once I know me, I can help you. But if I don't know me, how can I help you? From inspiration to application. Your application was to rate how opinionated you are. I think that was the application. I rated myself that I'm low on being opinionated. And the only reason for that is I have a full appreciation for vasanas. We all have a specific print. And so it helps one to be more accepting that. Your application for this morning as we continue with chapter 13 over the coming weekends, tomorrow we reach half of the completion of this chapter. Make sure your notes are organized externally and internally. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Be safe, be sound, be serene, be joy.